It's time again, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review in H-Town. We're drying out from a rain that is still falling down a little bit, but it's not too much here in Fifth Ward, Texas. Let's have some fun today in these 55 minutes or so. Join me as I talk about some WNBA news that broke within the hour, some NBA news, some Rockets, some Coogs, and that sorry head man for football coach, not sorry man, just sorry coach, Dana Holgerson, and more. Let's get into it. And of course, it's time. First up, WNBA made some news, and I got some things to say about this too. All right, WNBA expansion team awarded to the Bay Area to the Golden State Warriors to begin play in 2025. The seven-time NBA champ Golden State/Philadelphia Warriors have been awarded a WNBA expansion team. It was announced today by WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. The team will begin play in the 2025 season, making it the first new franchise to join the league since 2008. The Warriors become the sixth NBA franchise to have a WNBA team, joining the Pacers, Indiana Fever, Timberwolves, Minnesota Lynx, the Brooklyn Nets, the Liberty, Phoenix Suns, the Mercury, and the Washington Wizards, the Mystics. Salute to the Bay Area. Y'all know me, followed the Houston Roundball Review all these years. Knows one of the first teams that I covered was the Houston Comets. First four-time champs of the WNBA. Team that was disbanded in 2008 due to poor vetting by the WNBA ownership. That owner didn't have enough money in deep pockets to run the team effectively, and he folded it. Hasn't been a WNBA team in Houston since then. Does not sound like there's going to be a WNBA team in Houston anytime in the near future. The other cities that the W has considered, Charlotte, again, which had a franchise, one of the first original 8 of the W. I want to say Austin, Toronto, on and on. Go back to Portland, I think. Or Portland was ABL. No Houston. There's not enough money in Houston, some ownership to bring a WNBA franchise to Houston. The city of Houston supports pro teams. Folks say, women's basketball, blah, blah. You don't know about the Comets attendance in the sea of red. You went around to see 12, 13, 14,000 people rocking that building, especially in those first 4 championship seasons for the Comets. So I'm still a little warm about the RW, and honestly, the Comets disbanding hurt my pocket. Hurt my pocket, yes, it did. It's no question it did. Miss Wanda Polk, how are you? Thank you very much for your support, as always. And Miss Wanda, I am wearing a Houston Roundball Review shirt, courtesy of the website. Miss Wanda has, I think, 2 shirts. She's made a few more purchases of Roundball Review merch, as well as a Folks Talking Sports shirt as well. She is a true supporter. Join Miss Wanda in supporting the Houston Roundball Review. That link there you see on the screen if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, Roku via the BS3 network, YouTube, all over the platforms. Follow that link right there, Linktree/Houston Roundball Review, and get you some merch. Even a mug. Got me one of those too. Alan, how are you doing? We're going to talk some Rockets. Not a lot, but some Rockets. More college football and some SWAC as well. Let's get into the football angle of it for a moment, because I am going to talk about the Rockets signing of Reggie Bullock, and it is pronounced Bullock, not Bullock. Bullock, Bullock. He pronounced it. His family name is pronounced Bullock. Keep that in mind. Yes, I know. I covered him, followed him when he was with Detroit. So yes, it's Bullock, not Bullock. Bullock. But right now, and I'm going to talk about Dana Holgerson and the lovely piece written about him in the USA Today about being one of the most overpaid coaches in college football. Going to get into that too in this segment of this show today of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. So be patient. I'm going to talk about him and light him up too. But college football, week 6, college football. First up, going to give you the schedules in the American Athletic Conference because the Rice Owls, the 3-2 Rice Owls, the Rice Owls that defeated the Houston Cougars, coached by one Dana Holgorsen, those Rice Owls are going to host the 0-5 UConn Huskies this Saturday. And pregame kickoff 1 to 4 o'clock. Rice is having a craft beer fest. Yes, craft beer fest. I may be media, but I've been known to drink an adult beverage or two in my time, and I will be there at some point on Saturday afternoon at Rice Stadium to partake in just some sample of a beer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 5. I think going to be 5 craft beers this Saturday at Rice. I might have a couple. Maybe 3. But Rice football, part of the American Athletic Conference football schedule. All the games in the American will be this Saturday on the 7th. UTSA 1-3, their first conference game at Temple. The Owls are one of 3 Owls nicknames in the American: Temple, FAU, and Rice. Temple is 2-3 on 1 in the conference. 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Game will be on ESPN Plus. North Texas 2-2 overall. Also their first game in conference at Navy. 1-3 overall. Midshipmen are 0-2 in conference play. That game 2:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. South Florida, the team that beat Rice in conference play. First-year head coach, both first-year head coach, 3-2, 2-0 in the American. First-year head coach. Y'all get where I'm going in a minute. At UAB, Blazers are 1-4, 0-1 in conference. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Game on ESPN2. As mentioned, UConn 0-5 at Rice, 3-2 overall, 1-1 in conference play. 4 o'clock in H-Town. Game can be seen on ESPN Plus. And wrapping it up for the AAC, Tulsa 3-2 overall, 1-0 at the Tom Herman-led FAU Owls, who are 1-3 overall, 0-0, making their first AAC game this weekend against Tulsa. That game's at 5 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 5 teams off this week: Charlotte, East Carolina, Memphis, SMU, and Tulane. Allen says we need to support Rice. I got no problem with that. I cover Rice athletics. Rice athletics gives me a season credential, unlike my alma mater. But I digress on that too. Anyway, all right, next. Big 12 football. Start from the bottom. The Coogs won't lose this Saturday. Why, Miss Wanda? Why, Tran? Because they're not playing this Saturday. They're not playing this week. So no loss this week. Just a PR hit. But more on that in a moment. First game this weekend is in week 6 in Big 12 play. K-State at Oklahoma State. K-State 3-1, 1-0 in conference play. Going against the Cowboys, 2-2, 0-1 in conference play. That game kicks off at 9:15 on ESPN. October 7th, Saturday. Want to give some predictions from folks watching here on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Roku. Who you got in this matchup? Oklahoma, Longhorns, both teams 5-0, both teams 2-0 in Big 12, 11 a.m., game on ABC. Who you got? Make your predictions. I'm picking Sooners because I will never pick the Longhorns or anything in life. Nothing in life. UCF next, 3-2, trying to bounce back from blowing a 28-point lead against Baylor. Road game against Kansas. Kansas lost to the Longhorns. UCF 3-2 overall, 0-2 in Big 12. KU Jayhawks 4-1 overall, 1-1 in Big 12. That game's on Fox, kicking off at 3 p.m. Texas Tech, team that beat the Dana Holgorsen-led Cougars. Getting the theme here. Texas Tech 2-3 overall, 1-1 in Big 12 play at Baylor. Coming off that come from behind surprising win at UCF, scoring the last 29 straight points. The last 29 points to win that game, 36-35. Baylor, 2-3 overall, 1-1 in Big 12 play. Kickoff at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Last but not least, TCU. TCU beat Houston. 3-2 overall, 1-1 in Big 12 play at Iowa State. Iowa State Cyclones 2-3 overall, 1-1 in conference play. 7 p.m. kickoff game on FS2. Miss Wanda's picking Oklahoma to beat the Sooners. Trend is going huge. Horns in a big way over Oklahoma, 56-14. I hope you're wrong. Especially in that margin, that'd be kind of a game shame for the Red River rivalry to be so lopsided. I think the Horns. If I had to pick, I'd pick the Horns, but I just won't do that because I can't. No. But KU 35-21 over UCF. Trend going all out. His predictions. Baylor 42. Ooh, I don't know about that one right there. 42-14 over Texas Tech. We shall see about those. We shall see. Oh, Longhorns are real. I understand all that. If I'm being objective, I will pick the Longhorns. But because I'm being petty and don't like them, anything that they do in life, I won't. But oh yes, the objective part of me would pick the Longhorns. But the rest of me, no. Nope. SWAC play. Bethune-Cookman at Alabama State. It's all part of Week 6. Games on October 7th. Bethune-Cookman 1-3 overall, 0-1 in SWAC. Alabama State 1-3, 0-2 in SWAC. 2 p.m. Games on HBCU Go. Grambling 3-2 overall, 2-0 in SWAC at Alcorn State. Braves 2-3, 1-1 in SWAC play. 2:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Jackson State 3-2 overall, 1-1 in the SWAC at Alabama A&M. 3-2, 1-1 Bulldogs. 3 p.m. also on ESPN Plus. The best team in the SWAC, Florida A&M, 4-1 overall, 3-0 in SWAC play at Southern. Should be a good one. And it's on ESPNU. Salute. Southern Jaguars 2-2 overall, 2-0 in SWAC play. 6 p.m. Tune in on ESPNU. And then wrapping it up, Mississippi Valley State, bless their hearts. They're so underfunded in everything athletically and academically too. 0-4 overall, 0-1 in SWAC. Playing at Prairie View A&M. PV is 2-3 overall, 2-1 in SWAC play. 6 p.m. No TV for that game unless it's on PV Network, but nothing was mentioned last I saw. Bye week teams, Pine Bluff and Texas Southern. That's football. So we got the predictions so far from everybody, the folks tuning in. Oklahoma, Texas, in the Red River. Yeah. Sooners. Miss Wanda says Oklahoma. Dran says Texas. Who else you got watching us? Chime in. Don't be shy in your comments here. You can watch this on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, and of course on Roku via the BS3 network. And if you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, you can just go to bs3network.com. I'm going to get to the basketball poll in a moment. I want to take some time. Let's talk Dana Holgorsen, shall we? Y'all ready for some enlightening stuff about Dana Holgorsen and his contract and being one of the most overpaid coaches in college football? Let's get into it, shall we? This is from Paul Meyerberg via USA Today. Holgorsen is earning $4.3 million this season with a $14.8 million buyout as part of a reworked contract signed in 2022. On the heels of a 12-2 record and number 17 finish in the coaches poll. Last year's team opened the year at number 25 and went on to win 8 games against a feeble schedule. So true. A feeble schedule that avoided the top teams in the American Athletic Conference for the second straight season. Didn't play UCF nor Cincinnati. 2 straight years did not play the best team. While Holgorsen has pointed to the Cougars' 20 wins the past 2 seasons and winning 2 bowl games, hey, the Independence Bowl and the Birmingham Bowl, yeehaw, hooray, hooray. While Holgorsen has pointed to the Cougars' 20 wins the past 2 seasons, amid speculation over his job security, only 7 of those 20 wins have come in the regular season against teams that finished with a winning record. And just one was against an opponent that finished with double-digit wins. And of course, as Coogs fans know, this year's team is a robust 2-3 with losses to Rice, TCU, and Texas Tech. And of course, the game against TCU and Texas Tech, in the second half of both of those games, the Coogs, led by the offensive genius, that is Dana Holgorsen, scored a grand total of 0 points. 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, yeah, I'll put this up. DP, thank you for this. Herman not coming back here, folks. Not happening. Nope. That ship has sailed. And this last part of the statement that DPG made, there is no love between either party. Correct. Not getting into it here on the show, but those who know. I'd be shocked beyond out of this world if UH is considering bringing Tom Herman back. No, not happening. No. Not going to happen. But back to Dana Holgorsen and the buyout. Unless, fans, you want to shake your head and cry or complain and what have you, the buyout, $14.8 million. $14.8 million buyout. One more time, $14.8 million. And Ms. Wanda says it nicely. We must go forward, not backward. Agreed. That applies in, I think, personal life and business as well. It's best really to go forward in life. Who besides, and Ms. Wanda, you help me out here. You're an alum. University of Houston has nearly 300,000 alums living around greater Houston area. Do we not have other alums who are wealthy? I mean, and I'm talking wealthy, billionaire wealthy, like Tillman Fertitta money. Because as long as Tillman Fertitta continues to wear those Dana Holgorsen tinted glasses, he is not going to fire Dana. I don't understand why Tillman can't see what nearly everyone else is seeing and has seen for a while about Dana Holgorsen as a head coach. But is there not enough money from a group of alums? Some folks who made money in oil and gas that are not Longhorns and Red Raiders and SMU people, all that stuff. I remember the Morris. I also remember how they pissed him off, too. John Morris used to be a big supporter of UH athletics. And then they did some stuff he didn't like, and he hasn't been around since. But that's my point. Are there other wealthy alums who can step in if Tillman continues to, hey, it's my money, I like Dana, he's going to stay? Because as long as he does that, then UH football is not going to get better. The football attendance is going to dwindle more after the game on the 21st against the Longhorns, which will probably be majority of Longhorn fans, a lot of burnt orange, or as I call it, that nasty puke orange color inside TDECU Stadium. But after that game, attendance will stink this season, and as long as Dana's back next season, on and on. This is a good point from DPG. Oil money is generational. That's true. But I'm gotta be somebody, a group of alums, older alums. And clearly it's not, older than me, and I'm 51. Older alums who can pool their money, and hopefully the older alums also are not blinded by Dana's stuff, stuff to keep him around. He's not a winning coach against winning teams. He makes excuses. He tosses his players under the bus all the time. He's the one in charge. He's the one who built the roster, yet the roster does not have depth. Yet the team somehow wears down in the second half against Big 12 opponents because this is Big 12 football. So what have you been recruiting? Who have you been recruiting the last 2 years as the team prepared for Big 12 play? I just, the excuses, this is sad. It's one to give me some hope here. We will need to identify them and get them involved because this from Trend gets me is sad. No Houston alum is in the oil industry. That's sad. If it's true, I'm asking because I don't know. I'd like to know. Heck, I'd like to know because if there are some, get them to advertise on all of my shows. That'd be great too, obviously. But there has to be, as Brother Gibson chimes in from Facebook with sarcasm, he just needs time to create depth in the roster. That's what he says, and that's what he continues to say to his small circle of enablers, supporters, Dana's friends of the program. But as long as he's in charge, and as long as there's no one else, and as long as Tillman is not willing to pay up that $14.8 million buyout, Dana Holgorsen will continue to lead the football program into the toilet. If I'm wrong, I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to see the football team turn it around under Dana Holgorsen. I don't see it happening. I don't, not at all. And, this is a very good question. How does UH NIL stack up to others in the Big 12? I think the lack of NIL support hurts. It does. Indeed, it does. And it may hurt. Heck, it has hurt. I'm not sure for the Big 12, but it has hurt men's basketball for a recruit or two months ago. And it could hurt them now. There's not a lot of Mattress Mac people to Mattress Mac, Lincoln Coogs, what have you, NIL support for UH athletics. It's not a lot. Which leads me to my ultimate question. In the grand scheme of things, in terms of big time athletics, is UH, for lack of a better wording, broke? Does UH not have the funds, the number of people, supporters with deep pockets willing to spend the money, and in some folks' eyes, do what it takes for the athletic program to compete on a Big 12 level? If they don't, that's just reality. You can't pull money out of the sky if you don't have it. Compare and contrast. Contrast this. Coach Kelly at LSU, huge contract. What, 2 or 3 games already this season? And LSU fans are ready to run him off. And his contract is bigger than Dana's, I'm pretty sure. And they're like, let's get rid of him. He's got to go. Aggie money. More than, obviously, oil money. Deeper pockets than Houston. Some of them want to run off Jimbo Fisher. His contract is massive. Jimbo Fisher was the top most overpaid coach, is the top most overpaid coach in college football. Miss Wanda? Does Ron and Carolyn, are they willing to pony up and get rid of Dana? Or are they a Dana supporter? I'm not sure. That also matters as well. But the question comes to funding. Funds. Another example, a couple of examples regarding where Houston stands to other schools. SMU, a handful of donors is paying SMU to be a part of the ACC. In a matter of days, like what was it? 3 to 5 people chipped in $100 million from SMU. The SMU donors. Like it was nothing. And this is a whole another problem. LSU football has more money than they all put it on football rather than anything else. True. That's true. Houston is not Texas. Houston is not A&M when it comes to politics. Part of the puff. Election coming up in a few weeks, and part of the ballot will be for Houston and Texas to be part of the, I guess, really the second puff, Texas Tech, excuse me, to receive, what is it? How much money? About a lot of money, $500 million a year, something like that, if not more, from an additional state fund. Jasmine, thank you very much. That puke, burnt orange, nasty orange color. Can't stand it, won't pick them in anything. If the other option is whatever, I'll pick whatever or not pick anything at all when it comes to the Longhorns. Second example of Houston and funding, or lack thereof, the Cincinnati Bearcats raised $100 million for their for their upgrades in preparing for competing and for facility upgrades for the Big 12. $100 million, 9 months faster than their deadline. 9 months faster. Houston and the Houston Rise, the goal of raising $150 million was announced last year. We're not going to 12 months, 12 to 15 months now, and is at $70 million. What is the issue? Is there a disconnect from the alums to the money? Or there's just not the money from the alums to give to the program, to Houston? I ask because I'm curious, because we have to figure this out. Because if the money's not there for NIL to pay off coaches who are in over their heads, and it's not just football, baseball, women's basketball. If the money's just not there, it's not there. Then just going to have to deal with this losing and underachieving and disappointments for a few more years. But if the money is there, if there are people who have the money and who have been turned off, put off in the past, then reconnect with them. Let them know there are some new folks in charge, some, and we need you back. We need you to help out your alma mater. Come back to Houston. Come back and support Houston athletics. That's just how I feel about it. That's where we are. If that's where we are, I mean, Akeem's got money. That's one thing. I know his faith, he's not going to publicize anything, but how much has Houston done in talking with him? If nothing else, Dream has contacts and connections with money. And part of this coming from Tran Tillman, he's got names. Fertitta's name is going to be on a lot of buildings. So, man, don't be sorry. If that's how you feel, don't be sorry. Welcome. Thank you for the comment. No worries whatsoever. Comments are welcome here as long as they're respectful. You don't have to agree with me all the time. And if you did, that would be boring. But here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, comments and disagreements are part of the show, part of the platform, part of the Houston Roundball Review hit. That's what I'm famous for. Disagreeing. Listen to me talk about my alma mater. I criticize UH a lot. Justifiably so. I give credit when it's due, but I'm also going to give blame when it's due. That's part of who I am. Been that way for most of my adult life. Some good news, Brother Gibson. We touched on a little bit on folks talking sports, but I guess it's kind of official. Joel Embiid has decided to play for Team USA in the Paris 2024 Olympics. Opted for Team USA rather than Cameroon or France. I think it's really down to France and USA. But big man Joel Embiid is going to play for Team USA. So can you imagine Joel Embiid teaming up with most likely LeBron, Steph, KD, as Willie Gibson described it as one last dance for some of the old head vets in the NBA to go out with another gold medal for USA basketball, or at least try to earn another gold medal, because it's not a guarantee, but give a better shot at winning a gold medal. And it's just another indication when you see LeBron, Steph, KD, the older guys, older star players, even the younger ones like Jason Tatum and those younger guys, the Olympics for American players is just way more important to them than the World Cup. And international players, it's the opposite. I understand this point. But my point is, and it's good for Tillman, because like, what was it? 4 years ago, he was worth $2 billion. And now it's keep going up. So salute to him. But his decision-making when it comes to coaching stinks. It sucks. If he is so firm in his belief that, hey, if y'all want to get rid of Dana, y'all need to pay for it. I'm not doing it. If he's putting on everybody else and there's nobody else to get it done, then Houston will be stuck with Dana until Tillman opens his eyes. And Tillman could look around the stadium and see it 40% full, of if that. That's his choice. In the writers poll that I think writers who cover the teams in the Big 12 this week, Houston football is the foundation of everybody else. The Coogs are now rock bottom, dead last in Big 12 football. Dead last. And then they're writing about Holgorsen being one of the most overpaid coaches coming out this week. This is not a good look for your program. Words from Joseph Duarte in his notebook were critical of Holgorsen. Final words. If things, he was going with a Green Day theme in his article, his notebook. If things don't improve, Green Day could supply more songs for the season. UH fans will be a basket case, and it could be good riddance for Holgorsen. I hope so. And if it happens, I still don't believe it will happen. But I go back to it. For anyone who's new to me, new to this show, new to any of my platforms that I am putting forth, such as Folks Talking Sports, I'm a part of the Let's Rage Coogs show. This show, obviously, the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. I heard in July at Big 12 Football Media Day from two different people who are connected and know football way more than me. that if Dana did not go, I think 5-7 was the cutoff, Dana would be gone. Well, you look at the rest of the schedule, I'm not sure what they're going to get those 3 other wins. But, think about this. This could be the slogan for next year if Houston brings back Dana again for a second year in the Big 12. Only way to go is up from here. That could be part of the slogan next year, the marketing campaign. Hey, this year will be better. It can't be any worse. And it's funny how WVU, West Virginia, was supposed to be the doormat, but they're 4-1 and 2-0 in the Big 12. DPG, I hope you're right. I think this will be Dana's last year, but how? Who's going to pay it? Who's going to pay the money? And President Couture will never live this down for making this statement she said at the press conference. She said, we fire coaches who go 8-4. Well, Dana went 8-5 one year, and he's still here. So, but who will it be? Will it be Tillman finally realizing I got to do something? This man is not the right one for the job. Or will it be somebody else? Who will it be if the Coogs finish the season 3-9? 3-9, 4-8. Look bad. Continue with these scoreless second halves in Big 12 play. Heck, I think he has a deal with Red Bull. Honestly, I think he does, because they send him so much stuff. I think Dana does, and I shouldn't have even said that because they're not paying me. But anyway, if they want to advertise here, they can. Hit me up. Hit me up on the gram. Houston Roundball Review. I'm all for it. But who will it be to write that check to pay that $14.838 million buyout to replace Dana Holgorsen? And the budget for the coaching staff is like $6.5 million as well. So that's like $21 million if you're cleaning house. Who's writing that check? Now, of course, if it is Tillman, he can afford it. He's a billionaire many times over. Numerous times. Many times over. More discussion like this on Folks Talking Sports with me and Willie Gibson and another person, maybe Andy Yanez, this Sunday Sunday night, either 7 p.m. Eastern or even later, like 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We shall see. The defense, Houston football has been disappointment. Happier news. We're going to talk basketball, these final moments, some SWAC, and then some Rockets. We're going to talk about Rockets signing. Let's talk about the Rockets signing Reggie Bullock. Let's talk about that. Reggie Bullock, yes, and it is Bullock. One more time. It is pronounced Bullock. So, Coug fans, keep hope alive that one day Dana Holgorsen will be gone. But Wednesday, the Rockets announced the signing of free agent guard Reggie Bullock to a one-year deal for the veteran minimum, about $3.196 for 10 years of service. Bullock was originally the 25th overall pick by the Clippers in the 2013 draft. In 512 career games with 294 starts, he has averaged 7.7 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.2 assists while shooting 38.4% from the three-point range and 82.7% from the foul line. Over the past 6 seasons, Bullock averaged 2.1 three-pointers made on 38.8% shooting. He was one of 12 players with 350-plus games played over that span to have averaged at least 2 three-point field goals made while shooting 38% from 3 or better. How do you feel about the signing of Reggie Bullock? It's another veteran for the Rockets. But what does it do for Cam Whitmore's minutes with the exile of Kevin Porter Jr., which he brought on himself? A lot of fans, and I think some folks, expected Cam Whitmore to get those minutes. But now that Reggie Bullock is here, I got to believe he was told he's going to get minutes. The Spurs waived him on October 1st. The Rockets signed him. They bring him in. He wouldn't be here unless they told him he's going to get consistent minutes. Consistent minutes. He wouldn't come here to be a bench warmer. I doubt that. But add Reggie Bullock to the list of vets along with Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. That's 3. Uncle Jeff, 4. Jock Landale, 5. Jayshawn Tate's still here for now. Mr. Gibson. Aaron Holiday, that's 7. Boban, 8. That's more than half the roster. Now is veterans. Guys have been around the league for at least 4 years and at least 27 years old, I think. So what does that mean for Cam Whitmore and his minutes? I was kind of surprised they decided to do this. But Reggie Bullock is a good defender, 3-and-D guy. His three-point shooting toward the end last season was not as great as it had been. But it's another vet on the roster for the young Rockets who are not as young as they used to be, who are now emphasizing defense and have guys, more importantly, like to play defense. Dylan Brooks, Fred, Reggie, Uncle Jeff, Tari, Jabari. First thing first, you have to want to play defense. Then you learn how to play defense. And Coach Udoka, he emphasizes defense. He's doing that this week while they're at training camp. What do you guys think about the signing of Reggie Bullock? Free agent forward, 38% shooter from 3. Many fans like that three-point shooting. Rockets need it. Coach Udoka said it again this past Monday at Media Day. And salute to the Rockets. I almost forgot. The media staff, media department, part of the merch they gave the media. Got a tumbler. Got a backpack. A Rockets cap. And my name tag on my backpack, too. Handed out to the media. So salute to the Rockets media communications department. So it was a nice touch, a surprise to me for sure. Because goodness knows I'm very critical of the Rockets organization, especially Tillman. So, but your thoughts on it? Tran, what's your thoughts on it? Reggie Bullock is a Rocket. He's a three-point shooter. Your thoughts on, who was it? Was it Sam Bassini from The Athletic? Proposed a trade. I think it's a moot point now, but a trade involving Jayshawn Tate and KPJ's contract, really. And 4 second-round picks to Portland for Malcolm Brogdon. Why would Portland do that? From a PR perspective, for sure. But why would the Rockets do that? Why would the Rockets bring in another point guard to take more minutes away from Amen Thompson and his development? I'm not sure I understood the logic on that one. Amen Thompson's got a bright future. Fred VanVleet not going to play the whole game. Why would you want to split up minutes between Amen Thompson and Malcolm Brogdon? Your thoughts? Part of the discussion here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, X, Twitch, YouTube, and of course on Roku via the BS3 network. Once again, I'm wearing a Houston Roundball Review shirt. Get you one, different colors available. Youth, women, sizes as well, fit. Houston Roundball Review mug right here as well as Let's Talk Houston Rockets merch, shirts, mugs, and also, Brother Gibson, Folks Talking Sports shirts and mugs as well. Link is available if you're watching on my YouTube channel. Just click on the shop button. If you're watching on AJ's YouTube channel, go to Linktree /Houston Roundball Review to see the link to the merch and purchase it right there and help the Houston Roundball Review continue hitting that rock making these trips, covering these teams. Wednesday, I was at Tuesday and Wednesday, I was at SWAC Media Day in Humble. Yesterday, I was a guest on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with my brothers, colleagues, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill and Charles Bishop. Photos, pics are on X as well as, more importantly, on Instagram at Houston Roundball Review. I posted one pic of my appearance in one of the segments on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, community tab. SWAC hoops. Let's talk preview, predictions, order for women's hoops first. These final minutes of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Ladies first. No surprise, Jackson State Queen under head coach Tamika Reed sitting atop the SWAC in the preseason poll. Total points kind of close, but Jackson State got the most first place votes. Got the preseason player of the year in Tyon Bowler. But number one, Jackson State, followed by Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff, 4 Alabama A&M, 5 Alabama State. You see it's kind of bunched up, those top 5. 6 Prairie View A&M, led by Coach Pugh. 7 Bethune-Cookman. 8 Grambling State. You finished, you got picked 8th, but you got 2 first place votes. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Tran, yeah, I hope you saw Ryan's Coach Hugh's speech about that. Thank you. You do support the Roundball Review. Appreciate that a great deal. Alcorn, 9. Florida A&M, 10, with new head coach Bridget Gordon. Bridget Gordon, the Hall of Famer, Tennessee Lady Vol. First-year head coach, was hired in August, I think. August? Because the previous coach left in July. I want to say August. So, yes, she's been on the job not quite 2 months. And you picked 10th. Texas Southern and Coach Vernett Skeet squad picked 11th. Second year for Coach Skeet at TSU. Last but not least, I commend Valley for everything those young men and women do with just so limited funds, and their budgets is just so minuscule. But Valley Women's Hoops picked 12th. Men's Hoops. Johnny Jones, TSU Tigers, picked first. 10 first place votes. But you see, it's really tight. Those top 4 separated by a total of 27 points. A total of 27 points among Texas Southern, Grambling, Alcorn, and Jackson State. Jackson State head coach Mo Williams. If you have not seen the picture of Coach Mo's attire, the hat, the jacket he wore yesterday, Wednesday, go to Instagram, Houston Roundball Review. Go to my X account, the HR Review, but more go to Houston Roundball Review on Instagram and look how sharp Mo was. Oh, to the nines. But TSU first, Grambling State second, Alcorn third, Jackson State 4, Southern 5, Prairie View led by head coach Byron Smith, a Cougar, Byron Smith at 6, Alabama A&M at 7, Alabama State 8, Bethune-Cookman 9, led by Reggie Theus, Willie Gibson, Reggie Theus at Bethune-Cookman, Arkansas Pine Bluff at 10, Florida A&M 11, and again, last but not least, Valley. And you see the gap in terms of points between 11 and 12, between A&M, Florida A&M, and Valley. A gap of 67 points. 67 points. My goodness, between 11 and 12. So you get the idea. Folks are expecting Valley to be rock bottom last again in men's basketball in the SWAC. But I just salute them and those student assets for competing for Valley with such limited funds and budget and this everything. But you are correct. Bridget Gordon did play for the legend Pat Summitt. May she rest in peace. Memphis head coach will be good for Houston. Memphis head coach is now at Cincinnati. Coach Merriweather, yeah. So she's now in the Big 12. I won't get into all the women's basketball head coaches possibilities that I have in mind for certain programs that I cover, but I digress on that in these closing moments. Going to put up the names you can see. Tyann Bowler from Jackson State, SWAC preseason player of the year. She's an all-around player, scores at 3 different levels, all 3 levels. Defensive player of the year, Angel Jackson, also from Jackson State. You got offense and defense covered. Going to do good things. You see the preseason all SWAC first team, Tyann Bowler, Chanel Wilson, Destiny Brown, Denovia Johnson, Cry Beck. No PVTHU, folks. What I say? I want to touch on Daphne White at Jackson State. If anybody follows Houston Cougars women's basketball, Daphne White had a cup of coffee with the Houston Cougars. Couple of, was it now 3 years ago? 3 years ago? 2 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years this season. Started at Mississippi State, went to Houston. Now Jackson State, preseason 6-5, preseason SWAC women's team. Men's hoops, PJ Henry from Texas Southern, the SWAC preseason player of the year. PJ makes TSU go. If PJ is healthy, TSU has a great chance to repeat as SWAC tournament champions and get back to the NCAA tournament. He missed games last season because of injury, and without him, they didn't have really a true point guard as a backup. Without him, the offense struggled, and they lost. But once he came back toward the end of the season, he led them, helped lead them on that run as the 8th seed and win the SWAC championship to get back to the NCAA tournament. Defensive player of the year from Grambling, Jordan Smith. You see the SWAC team, PJ obviously is on the SWAC first team. Zion Harmon, Jeremiah Kendall, Chase Adams, Kyler Milton. Then rounded it out. J-State got 2. Mo Williams. See, Coach Mo got some players. And I'm going to say this in these final moments of the takeover. Jackson State's Mo Williams is a good man. Willie Gibson, I'm pretty sure you had a chance to cover him his time with the Cavs. Mo likes to talk. He's a confident man, confident coach. He has a solid working relationship with head coach Kelvin Sampson. J-State will be facing the Cougars December 9th, I believe, inside Fertitta Center. Coach Williams looks to Coach Sampson as one of his mentors in coaching. He's mentioned that in interviews, and Coach Kelvin Sampson has always been one to give back to the younger coaches. So keep that in mind. But once again, if you have not seen Coach Mo Williams' outfit from Wednesday, SWAC Media Day, go to Houston Roundball Review on Instagram and take a look. It's just smooth. I'm not sure I could pull it off, but he could pull it off, and he did a great job. I mean, down to his shoes. Just stellar outfit. Brother Gibson, I want to say, DPG, thank you very much. Your name is new to the show. Your comments and being on point. Appreciate that. Tran, you are a loyal supporter. Thank you, as always, for your time. Friday night, we're going to do more and further discussion of the Rockets signing of Reggie Bullock on the next edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Should be 7 p.m. Central. Few reminders. UH football won't lose this weekend because they're not playing. Next Thursday, the Coogs host West Virginia, 6 p.m. at TDECU Stadium. It's a blackout game. Wear your black. Could be a funeral attire as well, because the Coogs lose to West Virginia, 0-3 in Big 12 play, and then they play the Longhorns on the 21st. So if they don't beat West Virginia, and not many folks are expecting them to do so, and wouldn't that be ironic? West Virginia was picked dead last preseason poll, media poll. And Coach Neil Brown told us, I promise you, we are not going to finish last this season in the Big 12. I promise you that. They beat the Coogs on Thursday the 12th. They'll be 3-0 in Big 12 play. And the Dana Holgorsen-led Houston Cougars will be 0-3 in Big 12 play. So how about that? And once again, anybody got Tillman Fertitta's ear, please convince Tillman to pay that $14.8 million buyout. Get rid of Dana Holgorsen. You want to clean house with the staff too? Doug Belk, all them. It's $6.5 million. Get that done too. And start over for Houston Cougars year 2 in the Big 12. I am KG Chris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for taking time out of your lunch schedule with me this afternoon, watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Want to give a salute to Ryan Monso of GoCoogs.com. He had the idea of interviewing a lot of the media, but the media that covers the Coogs. I was part of that group. Look for that segment, that show via GoCoogs.com. I want to say Ryan said he got 4 or 5 hours of discussion from us. Me and Scott Holman podcast. I think Starnes Leonard from the Daily Cougar as well. So look for that. I want to say it's coming out today, but I'm not sure about that. But just check GoCoogs.com for that. It's all love, covering the Cougs. So DPG, thank you as always. Tran, thank you. Tell your friends about the Houston Roundball Review. Support the show. Spread the word. Word of mouth is the best advertising. So again, keep it in mind. The Houston Roundball Review, since 1994. Yes, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Y'all take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Friday Eve, or you call it Thursday, October 5th, 2023. Number 1, thousands of union workers at Kaiser Permanente walked out of their workplaces and hit the picket lines Wednesday morning after negotiations for a new contract broke down. 8 unions are on the strike line, representing workers that include vocational nurses, emergency department technicians, radiology and x-ray techs, pharmacists, and hundreds of other positions. Caroline Lucas, executive director of the Coalition of Kaiser Permanente Unions, said the staffing crisis leads to unsafe working conditions and deteriorating care for patients. Number 2, in just 3 years, Dr. Ibram X. Kendi's Center for Anti-Racist Research raised an astounding $55 million, fueled in part by the fervor of the 2020 racial justice movement. But former employees reported a toxic work environment lacking direction and support. Kendi responded to the allegations and claims the center is still funded but scaled down. He also acknowledged the toxic work environment and claimed they have taken steps to address it. Number 3, a study conducted by the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, the Los Angeles chapter, showed African American women face unique challenges in their fight against breast cancer. The groundbreaking survey aimed to provide a comprehensive overview of the challenges and barriers faced by African American women in their fight against breast cancer. The What You Need to Know newsletter, along with our partners at BlackHealthMatters.com, reveal the details of this survey. Number 4, Federalsburg, Maryland recently made history as residents elected the town's first Black council members. In 2022, the American Civil Liberties Union discovered that Federalsburg census data did not match the city's representation. The ACLU filed a federal lawsuit stating Federalsburg maintained the town's voting system was out of compliance with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and that lawsuit is still pending. Number 5, in the heart of Tuskegee, Alabama, the centennial celebration of the Tuskegee VA is a testament to a century of unwavering resilience and the enduring fight for healthcare equity in America. The Tuskegee VA, spanning 400 acres, has long been more than just a medical center. It's a mini city with its own fire station, baseball stadium, bowling alley, and chapel. As the campus celebrates the centennial, the National Park Service is considering it for National Historic Landmark status, ensuring this remarkable history lives on for generations to come. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Good friends are able to take the focus off of themselves and truly feel compassion for others. Way to go. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with mental health and wellness contributor Aprilette Russell, along with my friend and director Snoop Robinson, as we talk about his latest movie, A Sir Charles Christmas, along with his stars, Sir Charles himself and K.D. Aubert. We're also talking about today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College and HBCU in Concord, North Carolina needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters and alumni and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing needs by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SibylWilkes.com for more information. And check out a celebration of Black filmmakers rooted in the HBCU culture. That's November 10th through the 12th at Howard University's Blackburn Center. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.